Introducing the new Retire membership. For those of you who've been around for a while, you may remember that I introduced a Retire membership program back in the day in which we promised future content. And that content is now here. It's ready. It's all waiting for you. Retire membership is Retire Mentorship's membership program, and it is 100% free. So I want to take this episode as a special episode just to tell you a little bit about it. Again, it's 100% free. We're never going to ask you for a credit card information, anything like that. We just want to continue to provide more resources, more content, more things to build your knowledge, build your belief, inspire action, all the things that we do on the weekly podcast, but more of it. So stay tuned. We're going to walk through all the different aspects of Retire membership and then how you can sign up for this membership program and the exclusive content that comes along with it. So what is Retire membership? Well, it is our membership, our community that we're building here as people who want to retire successfully and stay successfully retired and want that ongoing education, that ongoing content, those things to make sure that we're staying the course over the long haul. There's a lot of things that we talk about here in a podcast format and some other things that I would love to talk about, but they're not great in a podcast format. Like it's things that you need to be able to see and not just hear. And so we wanted a place to be able to put those things and deliver them to you in a way that you can actually absorb and learn from them. So what do you get with the membership, with Retire membership? Well, first, if you haven't yet read my book, that is included with the membership. So my book, 3D Retirement Income, Creating a Retirement Income That Outpaces Inflation, Outlives You, and Outperforms Others, is now available for free for anyone who wants to be a Retire member. So if you haven't gotten it yet, if you haven't bought it from Amazon, it's still available there. If you don't want to be a member, you can still pick it up. But if you want it for free, the ebook, the audiobook, or either of the hard copies, the hard copy or the paperback, you can get a copy absolutely for free. I strongly believe in this message. I was just the other day browsing Amazon books on Amazon, and came across just a series of books, clicking from one to the next on different retirement books out there, just praising annuities and whole life and all of these strategies. And they're all highly rated books. And there's just so much bad messaging out there about retirement and about what people should do. So I believe in this book so much that I want to get it out there to more people. And I don't want price to be a barrier to that. And so if you're willing to engage with me by being a member, I'm willing to give that book to you. So when you sign up, you'll be asked what copy, what version of the book do you want, and we'll deliver it to you pretty much immediately if it's a digital version, or we can get you the hard copy. We can mail that out within a few days. And so that book, 3D Retirement Income, is included with the membership. So it's a great way to get all that content. I reference it on here a lot because it's things we've already covered. And so that's a great way to get that. You can just sign up for the membership, get the book. Other things that are included in the membership, live events. So we now want to start doing some live events, starting with this fall, some financial workshops. And these will be in person if you're in the La Crosse, Wisconsin area, but we'll also have virtual versions as well that will air at the same time online on YouTube. Makes it easy and accessible. So you'll get access to those, announcements for those, links on how to register for those by being a Retire member. And again, these workshops are great because there's, again, lots of things that we can do in the podcast, a lot of things I can teach. And you probably noticed a lot of what we do on the podcast is to do things that really build your belief. We kind of hammer home the same things over and over and over again because, you don't one time hear, hey, when the market goes down by 40%, just wait around and it'll come back and then you'll be all good. And you hear that one time, you're like, oh, great. And then you invest a bunch of money and you lose $300,000 or it goes down by $300,000. And you're like, oh, but I remember that one time I heard that if I just wait, it'll come back. And you do, like, that doesn't happen, right? You need some of these messages over and over and over again so that they are ingrained deep down in your belief, so that when things happen, not if, right, you're prepared, not just knowledge-wise, not that you only know what to do, but you have a greater just sense of ownership and pride and confidence in what is happening. And so that's what we do a lot of here on the podcast. But there's other things that we'd love to teach you that work better in a workshop format, where there can be a little interaction, some visuals along with what we're talking about. And so we decided to do these workshops instead of just all podcasts to help you guys with that. So you'll be the first ones to know about the new workshops and how to register for those as a Retire member. We'll do other live events too in the future, but for this fall, we're starting with some workshops. So sign up for that. And then lastly, some bonus content on a weekly basis. So we already get the podcast that comes out once a week. Some of you are very faithful in listening to it pretty much right when it comes out. Others you let a few episodes stack up and then catch back up, and some just tune in to whichever ones sound interesting to you, which is great. That's exactly what podcasting is for. But we want to have some additional content out there for you people that want more or want different content or wants it in a different method. So a few bonus content. You get a weekly email, and you can, again, we'll tell you how to adjust this. So if you're like, I don't want a weekly email, we'll tell you at the end how to adjust this. But let me tell you what you'd get first, then you can decide which ones you want. So you get a weekly email. The first one is going to include a Client's Corner essay. Now, these are written by Nick Murray, who's a legendary financial advisor. He's been in the business for 50 plus years, first as an advisor himself, and then as an advisor to advisors. So I subscribe to his monthly advisor newsletter, which is just gold. And it's $350 a year, so you're welcome to do that directly if you want. Otherwise, he provides these Client's Corner insights, essays that he writes to all advisors for us to go out and spread out, give to our clients, give to our network, people who are that we work with. And so we're giving this to you as a Retire member. And these are great because as much as you might enjoy hearing what I talk about, there's something else when it comes from someone who's literally been around in the business for 50 plus years, right? There's just a wisdom, a gravitas that comes with that I absolutely love. And when I pass this out, the feedback that I've gotten from these has been outstanding. So you'll get the new one each month in the first weekly email of the month. You can also request previous ones. We can't post these at all. They're not available online anywhere. You cannot find these online, but we can send those to you by being a Retire member. So that's on the first week. The second week, we'll have that live event announcement telling you what's going on with the latest workshop or what's going on there. The third week, then, we'll have either a checklist or a flow chart. And so we got a whole bunch of resources here that are designed to help you better prepare, not just in an audio format, but really in a visual written format. And so there's some things, right? Questions you might have where, for example, the answer is always, it depends, right? So let's say your question is, can I make a tax deductible contribution to an IRA? It depends, right? It depends on what? Well, several factors. And so what these flowcharts do, so we have one on this, like, can I make a tax deductible contribution for 2022? Because it changes, right? Some of these things can change, and so we'll update them as they change. But what it does is it says, it just walks you through a flow chart and kind of yes/no questions. Like, do you have this? Is your income above this? Yes or no? If it's yes, then this, and if no, then that. And so it allows you to track all the different splits and the different areas where it would depend. And you can get to the end answer, yes, you can, or no, you can't, or asterisks, right? Whatever it is. And so, can my spouse collect Social Security on my income? Here's the it depends flow chart for whether or not that's true. And then we have like retirement readiness checklists and some of these other things. So that gets updated each month. We added a new one to the library, and we'll send that right out to you as well. And so you can go back in the library to find the old ones, and you'll just get the new one delivered right to you. You can go back. There's a bunch in there. We've actually been doing this kind of as a test pilot for a while now. So there's several in the library already that you can go in and look at, and you'll always get the new one on the third Tuesday of the month. Fourth Tuesday will be like kind of a podcast roundup. And so if you're one who you're not subscribed to the podcast on your player for some reason, or you just you don't listen to every episode, but you kind of want to recap, and you could then, oh yeah, that one looks interesting, that one looks interesting, so I'm just going to listen to these two from the last month. So it'll be a podcast roundup plus some additional light content in that email. And then on the 5th, 4 times a year, I think there's a 5th Tuesday in the month, right? Just with the way that the calendar works. So we'll have something special in that 5th one. But those are the main 4. Again, that's the Client's Corner, a live event announcement, a new flow chart or checklist, and a podcast roundup. So those will come out weekly as part of this ongoing bonus content thing. So to sum it up, when you join Retire Mentorship, you will get my book, 3D Retirement Income. You can get it in any version that you want. We have it in hardcover, paperback, ebook, or audiobook. And when you join, you can just pick the version that you want. And we'll even mail you one of the physical copies if that's what you prefer, absolutely free. You get the book, you'll get access to the live events, starting with workshops this fall of 2022. Depending on when you're listening to this, some of them may have already happened, but now in October of 2022, we're doing one on Social Security, how to maximize Social Security and Medicare. Again, it's really dry trying to do it just via audio. And so we're spicing it up, adding some visuals and whatnot, and doing it in a workshop. So that will be a good one to get. The one in November is on reducing taxes in retirement. Again, something that can sound really dry in a podcast, but can be very educational, save you potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars over your retirement, hearing it in a workshop format. So we'll have some workshops and other live events as part of it. So a free book, live events, including workshops, and then the bonus content, Client's Corner, live event announcement, flow charts and checklists, and the podcast roundup. If you don't want any of these things, right, you can always tweak your subscription. So first let me tell you how to join, and then we'll teach you how to tweak it. So if you want to become a Retire member, then you go to retirementorship.com, and right on the top there in the top menu, or if you're on mobile, you might have to expand the menu there. It'll just have a icon for Retire Membership. You click on that, and it'll bring you to the Join Retire Membership page, which will kind of list out some of the things, and you just tap that Become a Member button. It'll take you down to the page where you sign up. We just need your name, your email, what kind of book you want, and where you are on your retirement journey. Like, how close are you to retirement? Are you almost there? Are you past retirement? You got a ways to go yet? Just so we can, know a little bit about you and where you're coming from, and a little bit about our audience. And then you'll get some of that content immediately, and the rest will come in that weekly format. Again, it's totally free. We're not going to ask you to pay anything. You probably notice that we don't do any ads on this podcast. There are no ads on our website. We're not going to try to sell you, credit cards and bank loans and all the other things that usually populate financial websites. We're determined to be a free educational resource to people. We're also never going to share your email or sell it or do anything like that with anyone else. I'll have it, of course, but we're not going to send it to anyone else. And I'm very firm. There's nothing worse than all of a sudden getting added to a newsletter that you never signed up for. All right, I hate that. And so we're going to protect that information for you and not share it with anyone else. And if at any time you're sick of hearing from us, you can unsubscribe, and we will totally honor that and never send you anything ever again. You can also tweak what you're getting, right? You can say, well, I like the Client's Corner. The wisdom is awesome from that. And I do want to hear about the live events, but, I looked at some of the flow charts, and I just, I've got somebody to handle that for me. I already asked my advisor when I'm curious. I don't want to look it up myself. Or, hey, Freeman, I'm already a client of yours. And you do these things for me, so I don't want to do all that work. So I don't want the flow charts. And I'm subscribed to the podcast already, so I don't need a roundup. You can just pick and choose. After you sign up, you can adjust which ones you get. So if you want to hear from us less often, you can do that. And so we want to respect you. We don't want to be spamming you. We're not going to share your information with anyone else. But if you want this additional content, this additional wisdom, the resources, we also want to make it available for free to you. And, of course, you probably figured this out. Some of you will have. And if you haven't, you're probably under a rock, right? When people are asking for your email, they usually it's because they want to try to sell you something, right? In our case, what we're trying to do is just be an educational resource for you for as long as you'll have us. And if at any point, of course, you decide, like, you know what, I like Freeman's philosophy. I like the way he educates. I like the way he's thinking about things. I like that he's always on top of things and he's, keeping up with the tax code and law changes. And I like that, my finger's not on the eject button when the market's going down, whatever else, right? If you ever wanted to hire us to be your financial planner, hire my planning firm to do that. Right? It's a separate firm, Lacrosse Financial Planning. If you ever want to do that, then our goal is just to be top of mind, right? That when you think, hey, I need help with this, I need someone that I can trust to help with this, and I know exactly who that is. I listen to him every week. I get emails from him. I know who to go to for that. So we just want to be available for that, right? That when you're ready, we're not going to be constantly sending you like salesy emails and whatnot, just the content. And if and when you're ready, then you know who to contact and how to get a hold of us. And if you never get to that point and you always just want to do it yourself, or you like your other advisor or whatever, hopefully, a fee-only fiduciary advisor, but you got a good one of those, awesome, stay with them. And they're probably not producing as much content as we are, maybe don't have the same heart for education. You can do both, right? And so there's no pressure. You don't have to become a client of ours, of my financial planning firm, but we're going to be here. And so that's what's in it for us. So you're like, how are you doing all this for free? How are you making all this content for free? How are you giving this all away for free? I would rather than spending tons of money on ads or on buying leads or like paying, because there's a whole bunch of ways to market, and some of them are I don't like at all, because a lot of them, like I swear I get emails where people say, hey, we'll sell you 100,000 emails and you can like spam all these people, and that's so annoying. Like, who wants that? Or like we've probably all met the financial services rep who you find out they're an advisor and they're just constantly like asking you for a meeting and hounding you. And like, we just don't want to do that either. And so we'd rather take all that time and energy and money that a lot of people spend on all these horrible marketing schemes, and we'd rather just put that effort into educating people and being a good resource for you when you get around to that point. So that's full disclosure on why we're doing all this, right? If it wasn't obvious in the first place, again, we're big on transparency and getting everything out there. So that's why we do all this. But the other thing is, like, even if I never got a client out of this, I would probably still do it, right? Even if nobody listened to these podcast episodes, or it was just my mom and my sister was lying about it, I would probably still do it, because I think this stuff is important and I think people need to know about it, and it's just a passion of mine. So that's available. If you want to be a member and get all this stuff, go to retirementorship.com, click on the Retire Membership at the top there. Links in the podcast description. You can just go straight there. And we're also on YouTube now. We are on, so there's little shorter videos of that, mostly just previews of the episodes. We'll do other stuff down the road. Again, we're going to start hosting our workshops on there. So you can search me, Freeman Lindy, on YouTube and find my channel there. It's very small now as of September 2022, but maybe it'll be bigger by the time you hear this. So yeah, that's out there. Enjoy that. I hope this has been helpful for you. And if you want to grab those things, go grab them. And if you don't, keep listening. We'll be back next week with more of your regular scheduled programming.
If you enjoyed that, you would love being part of our free membership community. It's called Retire Membership, and it has a host of benefits, all for free. For example, you can always buy my book, 3D Retirement Income, on Amazon. But if you join us at Retire Membership, we will send you either a hard copy or paperback for free, provide the ebook and the audiobook so that you can listen to it if you don't have time to read it. In addition to that, we'll also provide you with a bunch of content that you can't get anywhere else. For example, we have our quarterly Retire Mentorship magazine, which comes out quarterly and has no ads whatsoever. It's just timely content to help you stay the course. We also have workbooks for our free online workshop to help you get the most out of those, flowcharts to help you make better decisions, and a weekly email to provide timely content that you can unsubscribe from at any time. We never ask for any payment information, and we never share your information with anyone else. We just want to provide timely content and help you stay the course to retire successfully and stay successfully retired. There's no reason to wait, so join us now at retiremembership.com, or you can click on the link in the description and it'll go right there. We can't wait to see you in the community. Cheers. This podcast is educational only and is not investment, tax, or legal advice.